Today in the nerdy news you need to know about, PlayStation's holding a press conference tomorrow. Sony's quietly increasing the price of the Dualsense, and Bungie's new roadmap for Destiny. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Monday, September 9th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. Leftover Poppy Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing well. When was the last time you hosted a KFGD hungover?
A long time.
A very long time.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I did.
Really?
Yeah, but I also,
You're
they
not up
kind
there
of run
drinking?
together, but once Ben came around, the random week drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jen will still tie one on at night, but come on now.
You're not going crazy. You're
I'm-
not up
I'm-
until 2 a.m.
I'm borderland. Oh, yeah. I'm
You're not
2
taking
a.m.
back
whoa,
the
whoa,
night?
Whoa. No. If you hit midnight with Jen, that's taking back the night. Midnight alone, very common.
Fair enough.
Also, sometimes I'm forced to bed early because she's tired, like last night.
Yeah.
So then I'm playing Astrobot all quiet on a remote play. But once you lay down, you know how it is. You lay
Oh, dude,
down.
you can't get horizontal.
Oh, man. It's
When you get
fucking
horizontal,
tough.
it's over.
I think I
how's
made it at
Astrobot?
10:45 last night. I was like, you know what? I'm good enough.
How's
It's
Astrobot
good.
treating you?
What a
Yeah.
game. You know how it is.
Have you beaten it yet?
No, I'm on the final everything now. But I've been doing, like we talked about in the review, right? Once that happened, then I was like, well, let's just go to the other worlds, pay the
Yeah.
little robot, go get all the other.
So
boss.
are you like trying to, because I was surprised when me and Tim talked about it, we played it similarly where I didn't rush through it, but like I mainlined Astrobot and then I went back and played everything again to then collect everything.
Yeah.
Are you doing it where you are collecting everything as you go? So by the time you finish it,
That's how I play Astrobot, period.
Okay.
Where my goal is to finish the level with everything.
Okay.
Which is hard, obviously. I hate it when you get the bot and you're like, there's the one out. God, I missed some crap. That's awesome.
It's always worse when you get a bot and then it fills in and then you see there's one
it's
before
one- yeah,
and
you
you're
missed
like,
it. Damn,
all right,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
turn around. Let's see where
So
exactly
that's how I
missed
play
it.
it, period. When we were originally pushing for it, I was like, all right, I'm going to keep going. And now that I'm not, I'm trying to double back and just get everything in. And put
Okay.
off the final boss stuff till the very end. Kevin, your mic's live. Unless you're popping in and talking about Astrobot. But yeah, Astrobot's fantastic. As we knew.
Of course.
Yeah. But you're hungover.
Not really. I'm like maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
A little. It was
Kevin, get this man hair of the dog. What do you want?
What's hair of the dog?
You drink alcohol now.
Oh.
Power through the
Bloody
hangover.
Mary!
I mean, listen, I could be down. No, I went to.
Kev cobbles together a great Bloody Mary. I forget what he did last time.
What time
I
is
didn't
it?
want to know.
Oh, it's 10:04 a.m.
Yeah.
That's about the right time though.
Yeah.
No, I went to Lisa Wallen's comedy show
On the
last night.
GameScast next?
Yeah, like friend of the show, and she's gonna come through on the GameScast. I'm gonna miss it because I'm traveling right after this. But went to that.
Okay, and so again, full stop.
Yeah.
You got one show to do. You're a little hungover, and you're going to the airport where you can drink at any time.
Well, here's the thing.
Kevin, make this man a Bloody Mary right now.
Because it was the thing where last night I was like, "Oh, we're fucking sending it. I'm flying to San Diego. Like, what the fuck is what do I need?
San Diego.
What do I need to like not be hungover for?" And then
Yeah.
I remembered I was like, it was midnight. I was like, "Fuck, I'm on KFGD tomorrow.
Yeah.
I still have a show to do. I gotta like wake up actually like
Yeah.
at a decent time."
Yeah.
But yeah, went to the show. It was a very fun time. Went out afterwards. It was a whole group of us, right? Me, Michael Hyam, Barrett Courtney. Barrett, of course, responsible, so he left earlier than the rest of us did.
Oh, that's surprising.
He also had to pick up Alyssa from the airport, which
that'll
was the
do it.
real reason.
Yeah.
Right,
But
'cause he's not working today, so he could have gone hard.
Yeah.
oh, you're right. He's not working today.
Yeah, he could have taken it back
Sounds
tonight.
kind of irresponsible to me, you know?
It's
Like,
you hate to see people gamble away these golden opportunities.
This
you know?
thing is like y'all get married and then you don't want to party anymore.
No, it's not the marriage, it's the kid.
I mean,
I was
Barrett-
still
Barrett
partying
doesn't
when
have
I
a
was.
kid.
No, me and Jen were out there.
Barrett just
partying.
has a dog.
Oh, Greg started dating and he locked it up again.
What are you talking about?
Mhm.
Well,
Look
maybe
at-
I
look
wasn't
at no
partying with
fun.
you anymore.
No fun,
I miss
Greg.
when me and Kev would smoke cigars in the back of the old house.
Yeah, and then your cancer had to get all uppity about it.
I know. Then the new cancer doctor said that's not even what I don't even know. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
so you can start smoking again.
Wait, are we back on cigars?
Well, I mean, again,
got a Cuban
I'll tell
connect.
you what. If you're a cancer doctor, your follow-ups are just like, are you shitting? No. All right, you're fine probably. All right, thanks.
Well, my favorite thing now is that
And now I'm off the grid. I haven't had a checkup in forever on the cancer stuff. I go to my general practitioner. He's like, you're fine.
I don't have a cancer doctor, but I do have a dentist that we're friends with and is in our circles, right?
Yeah.
And like my thing was last night she was there and she was sitting a few rows behind me during the comedy show.
Feel like you flossing?
And like no, but I had these gummies.
Like, those are terrible for your teeth.
And like on it, like I've had dentists before be like, those are terrible for your teeth. And she just got done like, giving me the fillings, deep cleaning, root canal,
I mean,
crown.
I feel like if
and I'm
you're-
sitting there with these gummies, just like
If
just
you're
taking
a
them down.
dentist, like you want, I mean, you hope people take care of them, but when a gold mine like you walks in, I'd be giving you candy on your way out. There you go.
But it's like, I don't know, man. It's like having a friend that you helped out of like, this deep issue that they're having, and then 2 weeks later you see them going right back to the bottle or whatever they were doing.
But
man,
have you learned from your when you had this last encounter with the dentist? Have you learned anything? You flossing more? You brushing better? No.
I mean, I like to think I'm brushing better, but I don't even know what that means. I'm counting the 2 minutes now. I'm making sure that I'm in there for like the right amount of time. I'm doing a full song now when I'm brushing my teeth.
Well, like singing a song.
But flossing, I'm not flossing. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Get the little flossers. They're fun. They make it fun.
Those do seem.
What I
fun.
did is I got the little flossers and then I keep them in my car. So when I'm driving home,
just flicking them everywhere in the car.
Flicking them into that.
You flicking them? What do you mean flicking them? No,
nails.
I put them in my. Okay, first off, that is true. But the flossers I'm putting in my little door thing, and then I get to the gas station, I throw them away.
I think about flossing, but
you think about
it's just the fact. It's not in my routine.
That's your problem. Well, I know you got to make it part of your routine. You got to find it.
I'm trying.
Wait, Miller, do you only toss them out when you go to the gas station? So like you go in like once every 2 weeks. So you've got 14 of those little things in there. Ew.
I'm a dirty boy, Kevin.
No.
It's not that bad. I mean, what? I'm not like pulling out huge pieces of
Everyone
anything.
gives some ew so he knows he's a dirty boy.
Okay, no, this is the fucking thing. I refuse.
Shame
all
him,
right?
Chad. Shame him.
You either got to I'm flossing, so that gets me the plus. That's a plus 10 right there. Putting the little thing over there.
No, personal hygiene doesn't count. Like that, you're doing that for you, not because like, oh, your breath smells because you haven't flossed.
What percentage of people floss?
I don't know.
I feel like
that's a big problem. Yeah.
Is it a big problem, or is it like Big Dental trying to sell us these fucking strings and acting like it's necessary, but they're really just trying to make a bunch of money? No offense to my dentist because she's the homie, but like, come on.
I mean, I think you need to floss. Yeah.
Do you need to floss?
Yeah.
Did Jesus floss?
No,
like flossing. When did we start
he
flossing?
He died at 33, right? So I mean, what's he got going?
Yeah, but he like levitated into the air. Like, I don't think he died because of the flossing. They crucified him.
A lot of the stories have changed throughout years and languages. Maybe the crucifixion really was gingivitis. You know what I mean?
Like, this guy's breath stinks. We gotta get him out of here. He comes back in 3 days. We're like, oh god damn it!
Yeah, Pontius Pilate was like, "Your breath's bad. I'm not gonna do
do something about this guy."
I'm glad we got to Jesus and
Praise
flossing. Why don't we get to video games? Because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, why not help us keep it going? We're an 11-person small business, and we could use your support with your Kind of Funny membership. A Kind of Funny membership costs you $10, but gets you the ability to know, hey, I'm chipping into a thing I love. Plus, you get all of our shows ad-free. The ability, Kevin, your mic is still live. The ability to watch us record our afternoon podcasts privately, and of course, my daily Gregway vlog / podcast for your listening viewing pleasure. No bucks tossed our way, no big deal. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. Podcast services around the globe. Like, subscribe, share, follow on twitch.tv /kindoffunnygames. And if you have Twitch Prime, no, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. Or Prime Gaming. They make it confusing. But you get a free subscription to give away each and every 30 days, and we would love it if you logged in and did that for us. Of course, if you want to be part of the show live as we go, you need to be super chatting on youtube.com /kindoffunnygames. The super chats are your way to be part of the news stories. Some housekeeping for you! On Friday, September 13th, Organization 13 takes over Kind of Funny spare bedroom, and only one man and his friends have the keys and friendship to take it back. Mike, Ricky, Kyrie, and Sora return for Mike's epic journey into Kingdom Hearts with the start of Kingdom Hearts 2. Tune into a marathon stream starting after GAMESCAST on Friday, exclusively on Twitch. We will, of course, upload it to YouTube later. That's how long they plan on going with this. You understand?
Yeah.
Help make Andy share the Paopu Fruit with Mike to seal their friendship forever.
The funny thing is knowing that that's like, it's like a game of telephone where I know whatever Mike wrote there is probably not even what that really is called.
Yeah, no, of course not.
And so now you're butchering whatever Mike's butchering.
Yeah. Of course, we're all about live talk shows here. That's happening on Friday. That's a marathon stream that'll be super, super exciting. Today is no slouch either. After Kind of Funny Games Daily, you, of course, are getting the Kind of Funny Games cast, all about video game tattoos with Lisa Wallen, the comedian Bless got to go see last night. And then the stream after that is Dark Souls, but it's going to be Andy and Lisa Wallen, who of course are both huge Dark Souls fans, sharing one controller. They're just splitting this. They're playing Dark Souls on the Switch with this thing. A completely original idea.
Never heard of it before.
No one's ever thought to play a game like this.
We should make a name for it.
Brian Max suck.
Sold together.
Sold together? I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Of course, live talk shows, as I said. What that means is that tomorrow is insane. We're going to get to the announcement of this PlayStation thing, but to get ahead of it, yes, we are live reacting to the PlayStation presentation tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Soulmates, that's good.
That's good, yeah. After that, we will run right into a Kind of Funny Gamescast reacting to everything that just happened and breaking down the news of what we assume is the PlayStation 5 Pro. After that, it will be Games Daily. After that, it will be the stream. Basically, what I'm saying is we are moving everything up by about 2 hours tomorrow. So expect to get your Kind of Funny live shows early. A bonus if you're over in the UK. You know what I mean? Because we're late there usually. We'll be earlier.
What time is it right now in the UK?
I'm going to say 6:12.
6:12.
It's something like that,
right.
where it's like
I'm gonna check you up on
we're
that.
usually dinner time for them. You know what I mean?
You nailed it.
Did I?
6:12 exactly. Holy shit.
I got it. You know what I mean?
Real good.
I always got one eye on those people over there.
Those people.
Yeah.
The British. All right, Paul Revere.
If you're a Kind of Funny member, of course, you can get today's Gregway momentarily on Patreon and YouTube. What is it? It's simple. Do I hate Kind of Funny Game Showdown? I'll answer all these questions and more on that Gregway. And then, of course, there will be a Kind of Funny podcast this afternoon. If you're a Kind of Funny member, you can watch it privately as we record it, but you can get it tomorrow on YouTube and podcast services. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining and Carl Jacobs. Today, we're brought to you by Shady Rays and Hymns. We'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. Time for some news! 6 items on the Roper Report.
Baker's dozen.
I don't like it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Dylan's. We did his last week, so I may have
double dipping?
maybe I didn't change it. That was my bad.
No, that's fine. Dylan had a good one. Don't worry about it. It gets inside you.
You said you hated it.
When?
Just now.
No.
No?
I hate it in the way that it got inside me, you know?
I get that.
Do you?
No.
Number one on the Roper Report, PlayStation's holding a presentation tomorrow. From the PlayStation blog, tune in tomorrow for a PlayStation 5 technical presentation hosted by Mark Cerny, creator of Knack. Super Chat, we need to know right now, what are your predictions for the presentation tomorrow? Is it just a PlayStation 5 Pro? Is it a Vita 3? Let me know. That's right.
Vita 3?
Skipping the 2.
Oh shit, just like Goat Simulator.
Yep. Join us for a stream presentation hosted by Mark Cerny, lead architect of the PlayStation 5 console. The 9-minute technical presentation will focus on PS5 and innovations in gaming technology. The stream will be broadcast in English on the PlayStation YouTube channel September 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So let me do some quick math. That's 4 p.m. British time.
Why did you just -2? Is that what you just said?
And it took me that long.
Like it's 6 now. It's 2 hours for now.
Oh, see, I did it the opposite where I'm like, all right, it's 10 and it's 6 there. So if it was 8 here, Jesus Christ.
He made an algebra.
Oh, you know what I mean?
I've been doing a lot of algebra. We'll
shit.
talk about it later. I'm also curious as far as Super Chat's predictions. As far as I think, obviously it's a PS5 Pro. Is that fair to say? Is that obviously it's a PS5 Pro?
I'll tell you what, I went through and I wrote all the headlines for all the content tomorrow, and if it's not a PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? If we show up for a 9-minute thing and it's PlayStation stars, we're in trouble.
Oh no! But like, I'm like curious about the predictions of what does a PS5 Pro come with, right? Like, how do they market this thing? What are like the main features? I think the assumption / prediction / rumblings are AI upscaling. AI super sampling is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, super sampling. Similar to what we see with DLSS and like the other features that are out there using AI to make games look better and make the frames run smoother and fill in like a 30 FPS frame rate with those extra frames turning to 60 FPS.
But still be running at 4K. Look like it's running at 4K.
I've been listening a lot to what Andy has to say about like the visual triangle, right? And be able to achieve all 3 of those things in the visual triangle.
I mean, what if that happens? What if that blows up Andy's visual triangle? You know what I mean? This thing.
I mean, do you think he gets paid? I guess technically we get paid already by Nvidia when they sponsor us. But
I mean, Nvidia would go out of business.
I don't think
PlayStation's just doing it all. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think Nvidia's making too much money right now to go out of business.
Hey, you know what? That's what a lot of people think until it's too late.
Too late for what? What's going to happen? What do you know that I don't know? Are you excited about the idea with PS5 Pro?
So this is a fun question because the answer is no, but I'm interested. I think I want to say, I was infamously not excited for the PlayStation 4 Pro. If you remember, Colin and I were both like, "What is? Why?" I wanted just to download faster. That's what I wanted, right? And they didn't have that for me, so I was like, "I don't get it." But I had said at the time, like, clearly when my PlayStation 4 breaks, I will get a PlayStation 4 Pro. But even then, like my PlayStation 4 was making noise.
Yeah.
And like it sounded like shit, right? Whereas like my PlayStation 5 is awesome, I still think. I'm still having, so it's like if you're coming at me and being like, we're gonna make this even better, I'm interested in that. I don't think I'm interested enough as if I was on the, I assume we're gonna get review consoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was on the outside, I don't think I'd be interested enough to go buy it. But again, that's what tomorrow's, at least the opening salvo of making me understand that. The super sampling is interesting, right? Like I hate coming to my PlayStation, turning it on and being like, all right, is it performance or is it visual? You know, what I always choose performance. I always choose 60, right? But it's like, if I could get 4K 60, even if it's made up by the AI, I'm fine with that. And that would be exciting. I think it might be one of those of, I would need to see that in action to really be like, oh, I need that. I need that right now. Cause I don't play my games at 60 frames and go, God, they look like shit.
Yeah. That's my thing too. Is for me, it's not even a choice of like literally we're given the choice of performance or fidelity. For me personally, I'm like, oh, it's never a choice. I'm always going performance over fidelity, and so I don't necessarily even feel like I'm missing out. Like I know sometimes like, oh, I'm not gonna get the ray tracing, or I'm not gonna get like the highest resolutions or whatever. But I almost feel like a lot of games don't pull all the juice out of the PS5 of course we get right now, right? Like there's
again, that's the lowest common denominator. You're going to make this and try to run it on multiple systems.
And there's the the memes I see online all the time about like, oh, PS5, and you can probably extend this to just current gen or new gen or whatever, of like there's not, PS5 doesn't have any games, or like current gen doesn't have any games because everything's coming out on PS4 as well.
Yeah.
And as much of a meme that is, at the same time I am like, yeah, I think because of that, I'm also like, I don't really feel like I need a PS5 Pro, but it's also, I think back to your PS4 Pro thing, I don't think I'll know until I see it. And, I think maybe NVIDIA DLSS is probably the proof of the pudding of, no, there is a market for this. There is a tangible upgrade that you'll be able to experience, which once you get this, I guess I'm just in the wait and see kind of thing. I am not, I'm not necessarily excited about the prospect of an entirely new box that like, PlayStation or Sony is going to want me to show up for and spend however much money for, which is also another part of the equation is how much is this going to cost? I imagine it's going to be very expensive. Yeah. It's based on where things are at right now. They just raised the price of the PS5 in Japan, and we're going to get to it in story number 2. They're slightly raising the price of the DualSenses, right? Everything is going up in price, which worries me about.
So what do you think this is? Because right now, digital PS5 450 with a drive 500, 499, whatever.
I mean, I would almost go 650.
Yeah.
Which sounds,
I think you easily
terrible.
add 100 to each one.
Yeah.
So I think if they're even doing it like that, I don't know, maybe they're only doing a digital version of it, right? And so then I would say it's going to be just 100 on each one of them. So it'd be 550, right? Or 600 flat.
Actually, the point about probably going digital only, I agree with. And I think in that case, you probably go 600 without a disk drive.
Yeah. And so that is where it is like, first off, chat, what I want to know from you, what's the make or break for you? People are, Trenton Williams is saying 700 minimum. David Short better not be digital only. Big Boss Terra, 600 for diskless, 650 for a disc. Again, like I know I'm not even trying to dance around. I'm trying to find the right words, right? I wasn't excited for the PlayStation 4 Pro, even when I got my PlayStation 4 Pro, and it was like, okay, cool, this is nice. But it wasn't like, it blew my hair back. But I also just think I'm not that guy. Tim is that guy, right, who wants the highest technical fidelity. This is a reach, right? Mike Drucker is that guy. I remember on Twitter when he bought the PlayStation 4 Pro and was so stoked on day one, and I was like, oh, okay, like there is an audience for it. I just wonder what you can do to make that audience understand, or the rest of the audience understand. If that is, do you even care? Like again, you're just trying to get more out of it. Like, are we going to talk about load times? Because again, like PlayStation 4 had so many things I wanted it to improve that the Pro kind of did. But then the PlayStation 5 really was the solution to most of my problems with the PlayStation 4 Pro. Tomorrow, if they're like, hey, here's the PlayStation 5 Pro, AI, so you don't have to choose anymore. So it is, you're running 60, 4K, wink. I'm very much like fucking in the Matrix. I don't care. That's you say it's that and it looks like that. I don't care if it's not really. And if I look really closely, I can see this magic that's happening. And then it's like, for me, in the same way I was like, I want faster downloads before. It downloads fast as hell on my PlayStation 5 now. Now I'd be like, and this is going to be such a stupid Greg thing, but it did sell really well. is there any benefit to the portal? Is there any benefit to remote play? Is there something you're doing there?
I can't imagine.
I can't
that's-
either. But
yeah.
again, that would be like, it's like when you're talking to voters. Like,
Yeah.
what are the issues that matter to
Yeah,
you?
what
I'm
are the
like,
policies that you
I'm
care
not really
about?
worried about the visuals. Can it run even better on my remote play device?
Yeah,
Like, that'd be something for me.
my thing about it is because I think there has to be more than one bullet point, right? Like the bullet points,
100%.
the bullet points for PS4 Pro were the 4K. It was HDR, and I forget even what else was there on the box. If you want to look it up
Yeah.
to double check,
PS4
right? I think the number one bullet point for the PS5 Pro tomorrow is going to be AI tech making the games look better. I'm sure they'll have a buzzword for that. That's going to be the PlayStation buzzword, right?
Let me go take you back to September 7th, 2016.
Take me back.
Where Andrew Webster at The Verge wrote, Sony announces PlayStation 4 Pro with 4K HDR gaming for $399. Sony has officially unveiled the next big iteration of the PlayStation 4. The console, codenamed Neo, which the company discussed in a brief just ahead of E3 June, upgrades the 3-year-old PlayStation 4 hardware with a faster processor, better graphics, and support for 4K resolution. It launches November 10th at a price of $399. It's intended to be sold alongside the base PS4 instead of replacing it, and new games will still be playable on the older hardware. The Pro can output 4K and HDR video, which is powered by an upgraded GPU. Sony also boosted the clock rate of the new PlayStation 4 Pro. It will also come with a 1 terabyte hard drive. Quote, the PS4 Pro is not intended to blur the lines between the console generations, said Mark Cerny. Instead, the vision is to take the PS4 experience to extraordinary new levels. Those are the bullet points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, honestly, AI might be not the only bullet point, but just the main thing they focus on. I think that's going to be the main, hey, this is what we're really pushing as far as your games are going to look and run way better. I wouldn't be surprised if also, like, say we're talking about a $700 price point, which I don't think is out of the question. I think then you're talking about giving in way more storage too, right?
Yeah.
Way more base storage. You might get a 2 terabyte,
Oh, yeah.
like an AI powered PS5,
Yeah.
which honestly could be the move in a year where we're going into probably, or at least like very possibly getting GTA 5 or GTA 6. I mean, you know, that is announced for 2026. One, how big is that game going to be as far as memory? Red Dead Redemption 2 was fucking huge. I'm sure GTA 6 is going to be ginormous.
Yeah.
And so if you can push you got a PS5 Pro, it's going to have AI tech, it's going to have 2 terabytes of memory, so you don't have to worry about playing GTA 6 and Call of Duty at the same time.
You could just have COD.
Yeah, you can fit both those games in there finally. You know, I think that could add to the selling points of it. And then maybe you are talking about, like, again, those deep tech things that I think most of the audience doesn't care about, but as long as you tell them that it makes your games look and run better, they're like, all right, cool. Like, you can tell them that the GPU is more powerful or whatever, like, again, those words are that are going to get them going, okay, the tech sounds better and I can see that the games look better. Cool, let me get this so I can play GTA 6 in the best way possible.
Gerardo is cool, is one of the many people who have super chatted, and I want you to keep super chatting. What's your price ceiling? What do you want from it? What are we missing? Gerardo has this, I said, that interesting question that we haven't talked about at all. Y'all think they'll show a new game to show the PlayStation 5 Pro, show the power with something like Ghost of Tsushima 2, or show performance mode games running in both performance and 4K?
I mean, no, I think you
God
get.
damn it.
Well,
Come on, PlayStation, give us one cool game to go with.
because I think the best way to show how much of an upgrade
It's gonna fucking be Spider-Man again.
yeah, like the best way to show it is to show things that you've already seen and make them look way better. Like, I think they're gonna show us Spider-Man, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
I think those should be the 3 showcase things. Like, yeah, you can have like clips of Death Stranding 2 in there as well. But I think the PS5 Pro is more about the selling it over the years as opposed to like trying to sell this thing day and date the day it comes out. And I think with that, it is going to be the long race of GTA 6 coming out, Death Stranding 2 next year. Like, if
this
we
is a
get
luxury
Ghost-
item, right? So all you need to do is show why it's better and what it is. And again, like, this is appealing to the gamer who is, and I'm not doing a bit here, the gamer who is a PC gamer who is like in iteration. I'm going to pay for a new graphics card. I'm going to do this whole thing. Like, I've seen so many people backing you. One of the things you were talking about of like not having a lot of games this generation, right? And then people are like, yeah, but there haven't been many next gen experiences. While all that's true, I think we all, for the most part, want the best experience gaming we could. Like, I'm personally, and I know I'm different, but turning my PlayStation on nightly to play something. And yeah, it's like, okay, maybe this is a third-party game or an indie game or an Astrobot or whatever, but it's like, I still want that to look as good as possible and do all the bells and whistles it could.
Yeah. And I think, again, I think it's going to be a balancing act. I'm sure we're going to get a state of play at some point this fall. that's where I'm sure they're gonna have PS5 Pro stuff in there as well.
CJ splits on Super Chats and says Tushima is at state of play before TGS. That's the prediction.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yep.
And I think they double down and go, oh, also, like, yeah, I think PS5 Pro tomorrow, sometime before around TGS, you get a state of play with, like, let's say Ghost of Tsushima 2 gets announced there. And I think alongside of that, you end that trailer going, and it's going to look better on the PS5 Pro. And that's how you start to attach those things to it.
Interesting. See, I think what you would do is do the entire thing where you're like all footage captured on the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good way to do it, too.
And that's why it's like, ching, ching, the swords are doing
yeah,
sparks.
Like the sword is 60 FPS, 120 FPS. Fuck it,
Yeah.
8K. It's the best looking sword you've ever seen in your life.
One of the fun questions I saw go through the public chat was, do you think that they mentioned VR at all tomorrow? Because that was a part of, with the PlayStation 4 Pro, that was a thing.
Yeah.
The article here from The Verge back in the day says PS4 Pro will also improve the PlayStation VR experience, according to Sony. Developers will be able to increase the crispness of scenes, up the frame rate, and more. Netflix and YouTube are also developing apps specifically for the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Wow. What do you think?
Fuck no. Fuck no. You don't talk about PlayStation. Maybe it's like maybe in the most. I mean, I read that paragraph thinking it was all about PlayStation 4 Pro, and it was one sentence. So
yeah,
maybe they are like. This also has benefits for PlayStation VR too, but
yeah, I think I do think at most, and this could be a pizza bet, but I think you might agree. Like, I think at most we get one sentence.
Yeah.
That is, and it's probably for developers out there who might even be considering making a VR game. I think just putting it out there that you can get more juice out of this with the PSVR, and like I think that's it. I don't think you get more than a sentence.
I agree. I don't think you have to worry about it either. Hey, that's comics. Super Chats and says PlayStation 5 Pro support is not good news for the Series S. Agree or disagree?
That's I don't necessarily agree because I think right now, as far as third parties and Xbox, right? Like Xbox has it in their thing that they want parity between their platforms, and so like I think as long as developers want to put their games out on Xbox, I would almost think of it the other way around of like. The lowest common denominator is going to be the Xbox Series S until developers are like, all right, it's not even worth doing anymore. Like, let's just not put our game. Which some are starting to do.
Yeah.
I think once that becomes more of a thing, then it becomes a problem for a Series S. I don't know if the PS5 Pro necessarily is going to push people to want to like make things that the PS5 or that the Xbox Series S isn't going to handle.
And that's again, I am an idiot, admittedly so, but the power of the PlayStation 5 Pro would be trying to get you as close to that PC experience as you can have, right? And since that's already existing, I don't think it's really. I mean, it's bad news for the Xbox Series S in the way of like, hey, look, games even look better on PlayStation, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think the wild card, whatever you want to call it, the actual ace up the PlayStation sleeve, as we're talking about this and not actually having information, would be the idea if you're doing the AI super sampling, scaling, blah 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 blah, like. That's happening on the PlayStation Pro level, right? Where that's the AI inside the Pro doing it. So like Cerny's thing tomorrow would be, and this comes at a cost of nothing to the developer. Developers don't have to worry about this. You make the game you're already making for the PlayStation 4 base model that has performance or visual, and then guess what? This one comes in here and can just make performance look like visual or whatever the hell it is. Like that's that's fucking awesome. That's crazy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, what do you think of if PS5 Pro gets announced tomorrow, right? Where are we at as far as Xbox? Is the conversation as far as Xbox's hardware? Do they not have a Pro incoming? This might be a year on because every time I imply that there is, people are always correct me because I always forget that the cylindrical thing that was in the court documents before wasn't a Pro. It was just like a better for the environment version of the Xbox Series X. So like, do you think we get a Pro type console from Xbox? Do you think it's just the handheld that is their next hardware step?
I don't think you do. I don't know. Like Xbox is so different. And I know this is a reality we're still wrestling with and trying to understand. But like Xbox really isn't in this race anymore. And so I feel like you talk about the developers haven't really even tapped the power of the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah.
They definitely haven't tapped the power of the Series X, which is still the most powerful console, right? But it's like you don't see people using it that way. Like PlayStation 5 has won this generation. We've talked this to death and yada, yada, yada. But Xbox is doing respectably and taking care of their audience and doing these things. But again, Xbox is the ones who are chasing, hey, let's go cloud. Let's get your games everywhere. Let's get you have the PC. Well, you have Game Pass Ultimate. You can do that. And the saves are like they're they are in a different race, even though we keep trying to put them in the same race, because they are in this race, but they're not in this race. But is it just messaging? Is it not?
I mean, they're taking a detour, is what it is, right? Like I think they're in the same race, but they're like, we got to find a different path if we're really going to keep in this thing.
Yeah.
And I go back to, I believe it was at the last Xbox showcase during Summer Game Fest where they talked about like, we're working on our next console, and I think that is a signal of they're probably not working on a pro thing. I think they are probably heads down, like figuring out what does the next Xbox generation look like?
Sure.
And also maybe how do we get this Xbox generation out before PlayStation's next generation?
100%. I think that's again, like, what race are they running is a conversation for sure. But then, you look at this, and if you're going to skip this iteration phase, then jump to the next one. And again, the way Xbox has evolved as a platform, I fully expect the next Xbox to play all the stuff I'm playing and have the backwards compatibility and have your entire library and all the stuff you'd expect, right? That they've been crushing. So it is, is this rumored handheld the next console? And is it a Switch? And is it this, you know what I mean? Is it we have the most powerful console in our hands now, or only when it's docked? Or is that even a real thing? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. And I think it's interesting, fascinating, and scary that you don't. I wish it was clear, because again, Xbox is the one everyone keeps looking to and going, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, your games are everywhere now, even Indiana Jones. Like, what does that mean? Where, and I feel like sooner than later, they've got to answer that question somehow. But I don't think sooner than later, their next console is ready.
If you had to put a year on it, what would you predict?
For the next Xbox console? 2024 now.
I'm gonna say 2026.
6:30 in London right now. 2026.
I'm saying 2026. I don't think we get a new PlayStation 5 like new generation until 2027. I think Xbox is going to target 2026.
Damn.
Getting a year early.
Yeah. See, I feel even 2027 PlayStation's further out than that. And I know we've talked about shorter console generations, but if when you're doing this and you're iterating here, what are we getting tomorrow? Because again, like, this is where I step on a beehive. What are we actually missing on the PlayStation platform that PC has? Obviously, better graphics, better stuff, the amazing technology NVIDIA is doing. When I go in there and I do the streams with Andy and I see Alan Wake 2, and I'm like, well, fuck, this does look way better. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So if you're able to get in here now with AI, and I do not understand what I'm talking about, and sampling and all that, and chase that and make it look comparable, even if you're faking it, even if you're cheating it, even if it's not a true 4K 120 frames a second, but it looks good enough, that buys you time on the island, right, to then keep selling this. And then back to our point that this has been I don't want to say mid, that's not right, but this has been a generation of reckoning when we talk about the PlayStation 5, where it really is, cool, we fired all the guns and missiles in the PS4, and now everyone is still building new bullets. Like, we do not have the first-party lineup right now that is God of War, Uncharted, Last of, you know what I mean? Like this like library where you look at it and you go, oh yeah. But again, it doesn't matter. Like, we can sit here and we complain about it, but the PlayStation 5 is still sold gangbusters. Yeah. And again, now to what you said, which was very smart, what's the rush if you put this out now? Put this out now. Your games are going to look so much better here, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And then you wait till next year, maybe with delays the year after that, when GTA 6 comes. And like the people who have never bought the PlayStation 5 go and buy this new expensive PlayStation 5 to have that amazing experience, and it's all AI super sampled, right? The people who already have the PlayStation 5 are like, well, for GTA, like GTA 4
like that's a reason upgrade.
Is the game that made me buy, even as broke as I was, an HD TV.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I gotta play this. I can't play this on my tube TV anymore, right? Like, those are the kind of shifts you're talking about that you're building towards. And again, to then look at your development studios, right, and talk about Ghost of Tsushima 2, talk about whatever Sony Ben's working on, talk about whatever Naughty Dog is working on, right? Like, where are the first party PlayStation 5 titles right now? Mm-hmm. If these developers are like, we need 2 more years, I don't see the reason to do it where you're like, okay, cool, we're gonna do the thing where we put it out here, and then there is a PlayStation 6, and you can play the stuff on it, which we did with Last of Us, right? Where it was like, okay, you could do this. I guess Last of Us beat it, but you don't understand what I'm saying. It was all there. Like, I think you could easily sit here, not rush it, milk people for more money in a good and bad way. Also, in a way, if you bought the PlayStation 5 and you don't want to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro, and you're not, you wouldn't be as stoked about buying a PS6, make good on the promise of there being a bunch of games there right now. But again, I understand that I like being the lowest common denominator in some senses on this question, where I am turning on my PlayStation 5 and I'm not going, oh, game looks like shit, took too long to boot, X, Y, and Z. And I know if I went and played on PC and I bought and I built an amazing rig and did this, maybe I would change my mind and be like, oh man, this is a fucking kid's toy. But I'm not that way. And I think the overwhelming majority of people buying consoles aren't that way.
Yeah.
And so if you're trying to figure out how to balance it and make it all work, that's the big thing you got to go do.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think there's an overwhelming majority of people that are, I think, very satisfied with where they're at as far as like console power compared. Because when I look at the PC stuff, right, I look at Andy and I look at every now and then Andy will like call me over to his PC and be like, yo, Bless, look at this, right? And he'll show me like the most incredible looking like scene in Cyberpunk, and I'm like, this looks fantastic. But I'm also like, I don't need to go in there and tinker and do all this shit. I mean,
you want to turn it on, you want it to go.
I want to turn it on, I want it to go, right? And like there's some games that I was willing to do that for. I did that for Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit, where I'm like, all right, finally it's time to put in like the right graphics card in here and actually like play this or whatever. But I think there is something that is nice about where we're at with the PS5 and Xbox Series X as far as load times are snappy, games look great, right? Like I'm sure they can look better, but as far as what they look like right now, I'm not sitting here looking like, oh man, this is fucking ugly.
Yeah, we'll see what tomorrow's thing is, and again, I think that extends the generation again. And I think that's good for PlayStation developers. I think, or in first parties in particular. I think it's good for PlayStation. And honestly, I do think it's good for gamers. And I know that like there are a bunch of PC players like, you're fucking crazy right now. But again, like get as much out of this investment as you can. And if it is that you need the best looking blah, 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 there are PCs. Like that's the thing where you get to this level of like, what kind of gamer do you want to be? Do you want to cross over there and be the person who's min-maxing, looking at the thing, getting the best graphics card, or this is the console, this is the box that I can plug and play that'll get me the best for right now?
Yeah.
I have two rapid fire questions. Joey Radstone says, PS5 Pro pre-order starting tomorrow or a later date?
Later date.
I agree. And then I liked this one. Jordan Deeb says, will Mark Cerny start accepting ear pictures tomorrow?
God, I hope. I've been sitting on this picture for a while. Like I'm waiting to hit send. Open your DMs.
Oh, I love this one. Just to throw it out there before we transition to ads. KD3 super chats on just like you can on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and says, tinfoil hat, this would be a hell of a way to show off the new upscaling tech in a Bloodborne remaster/remake.
Dude, that'd be so good. If they really wanted to have like a drop the microphone moment, I think that would be the time to do it. Like
that would
PS5
be fucking
Pro
awesome.
And to display how good how much of an upgrade it is.
Imagine?
And they show us Bloodborne.
Come on.
They're not going to do it, but like that'd be so good.
Bander SN says, I bet you don't even get the price tomorrow, not until State of Play. Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
There. Did they not do that with the play? I mean, the thing I just read from Verge with Cerny had a price. So they did it there. I think they'd follow that. Because I think this is going to come quicker.
Yeah, I would think this
not
fall.
Quicker, but quick, yeah.
What, like November?
I would say October.
October, really?
Yeah. I mean, I would. If I'm PlayStation, I'm hoping for September, but it's September right now.
Yeah.
It would have leaked even more than it's already leaked. I digress. Ladies, gentlemen, and NB, do you like the conversations we have here? Well, I have good news. We do it each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, live for your amusement. If you've enjoyed this spirited discussion, why not pick up a Kinda Funny membership? With a Kinda Funny membership, of course, you can get all of our shows ad-free, get the ability to watch the afternoon podcast, like the Kinda Funny podcast this afternoon, privately as we record them, and of course, get my daily multimedia experience known as Gregway. But you're not using your benefits right now, so here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends over at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers an unrivaled product that's just as good as any expensive pair that we've worn. Durable frames and world-class optics for all outdoor adventures. With an extensive array of styles and colors, you're bound to find the perfect pair of Shady Rays sunglasses. Y'all know I've been outside a lot in the sun playing some Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing my Shady Rays when I'm out and about looking dope. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2 or more pairs of shades. You can try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. shadyrays.com, use code KINDAFUNNY for 50% off 2 or more pairs of shades. This episode is brought to you by Hims. Guys, sometimes intimate moments happen spontaneously, and we'll always want to be ready so we can perform in the bedroom. Hims has treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer, giving you that boost of confidence so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes. Hims is changing men's healthcare by providing access to affordable sexual health treatments, all from the comfort of your couch. No insurance is needed. Pay one low price for your treatments, online visits, ongoing shipments, and provider messaging. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/kindafunny. That's HIMS.com/kindafunny for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/kindafunny. The products mentioned are chewable compounded products, which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions, details, and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Number 2 on the Roper Report, Sony quietly increases the price of the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller worldwide. This is Ryan Dinsdale at IGN.com. Sony has quietly bumped the price of the standard PlayStation 5 DualSense controller worldwide. Despite no public announcement from the company, myriad of retailers, I think it should, but including Sony's own PlayStation Direct, increased the price of all DualSense colorways by $5 today, September 9th, 2024. Target, Best Buy, and Amazon all saw the price rise too. The standard DualSense in white, starlight blue, galactic purple, cosmic red, midnight black, and gray camouflage now costs $74.99 instead of $69.99. While the more expensive colors, including sterling silver, cobalt blue, and volcanic red, have increased to $79.99 from $74.99. There was like a burp in there that was like fighting to come out, and I was like I lost.
I mean, I didn't notice. I lied. I noticed. Oh, man.
I was like having a whole conniption fit over here. The price increase has been seen elsewhere in the world too, including with a £5 increase in the UK and a $10 Australian dollar increase in Australia. No price increases for the PlayStation 5 console itself have been applied or announced.
This is Australian dollar. Because like then I started to think that that's what they called over there. You know, like you're an Australian at the McDonald's, and they're like, "Oh, you $5 Australian dollars, please." It's like you can just call it dollars.
Should have bought the Concord controller when you had the chance.
Yeah. But I had my finger on the buy button of the Astrobot controller, and then I think it was Mike who walked by my desk and called it ugly, and then I slowly closed the tab. And now I'm like, should I have gotten it? I could have saved $5 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the economy. What I don't know what else to say to this aside from like, oof, things are going up.
Yeah, it sucks and everything keeps increasing in price. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did the I guess we don't know, right? But did the what's the fucking Pro one called? The Elite?
The DualSense Edge.
That's it. That's staying the same price. Because you're getting closer to that, just buy that thing. All these
and also
the
DualSense Edge fucking is great. And so if you're looking to get the edge in gaming, what's the do you even have a slogan for this thing?
Oh no. This is such a niche device. They are not even bothering sloganing it up.
Get the edge. Get the edge on your opponent.
Moving on, right? Because again, it sucks that the prices are going up, but goddamn, how much does McDonald's cost now? Am I right, Kevin?
It's depressing. I hate it.
Yeah.
Everything's going up.
Number 3 on the Roper Report. Let's talk about some things going down at Annapurna.
Whoa,
transition. Yeah. We're going to talk about some shakeups over there. This is me. Thank you, Kevin. Mia Galuppo over at The Hollywood Reporter. Nathan Gary is stepping down as the president of Megan Ellison's Annapurna, a post he's held since 2021. The Hollywood Reporter has learned. Gary will also be departing the company. You might say, Greg, why are we talking about this? I don't know who Gary is at all. It's because this is where it gets exciting for us, or interesting. The co-heads of Annapurna's indie gaming division, Deborah Mars and Nathan Vella, are also departing. Hector Sanchez recently rejoined Annapurna from Epic Games and was named the company's president of interactive and new media. Sanchez helped launch Annapurna in 2016. He will oversee the company's indie gaming efforts, as Annapurna is also looking to expand into AAA or large budget games. Under Ellison and her senior leadership, the company will integrate its in-house gaming operations with the rest of Annapurna's divisions, which include film, TV, and theater.
AAA
indeed?
AAA coming from Annapurna.
Yeah. How's that sit with you?
I don't know, honestly, because I think I like the idea. Here, okay, I'm of many minds. One of them being that, oh, cool, I like to see publishers and studios expanding, figuring out how to make bigger and better things, yada, yada. But at the same time, bigger doesn't automatically mean better. I like what Annapurna has been. I like a lot of the Annapurna games. I feel like they found a really cool niche in the indie market as far as making stuff that like might be a bit more art house. It might be a bit more, like specific as far as like the type of games they're helping publish, the kind of games they're curating. I think they've done a good job so far on the indie side of things. I don't want it to be the transition to AAA I don't want it to lose sight of the special things they've done in the indie space. And I know part of it has to come with trust of like, well, they got creatives over there. Surely they know what they're doing. Surely they're able to like, make that transition while also maintaining the energy that we've seen from Annapurna on the indie side. But yeah, like I'm hoping this goes well. I'm hoping we see cool, different AAA games from them. I'm hoping we don't just add another AAA publisher to the fold just for the sake of, oh, we got to get more money, so we got to expand out into AAA.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one. It's exciting. It's sad. It's whatever. I don't know what to do with it. I saw some people say, who's Annapurna? Annapurna, of course, a publisher of what I would assume are some of your favorite indie games. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Cocoon, Storyteller's on there. Stray is the big one for a lot of people. Yep. Neon White, The Artful Escape, 12 Minutes, which you hate. But you go back throughout this catalog of games they've been publishing since 2017, and they've been put out a lot of amazing stuff. So it's a big wrinkle that we don't know where we're going yet. It could be a sign of caution. It could be a sign of nothing. For me, what is is Deb Mars and Nathan Vela leaving. Yeah. Deb, of course, if you're not familiar with Deborah Mars, you should be. She's amazing. Worked at Sony Santa Monica forever when they were incubating all the indies there. So when you saw the little games that would go on to be what Remains of Edith Finch, which eventually was published by Annapurna Interactive, but like Giant Sparrow had that deal. It was through this incubator program at Sony Santa Monica, right? That Deb was a huge part of. Deb left and went with that. Basically, the entire team went, and I'm playing fast and loose with terminology, but they all left when Sony was like, we're kind of over this thing or whatever. They went there. They took Giant Sparrow and made what remained of Ethan Finch. That game company, they helped get Flower over to iOS. Blah blah blah. They took that DNA from the cool indies Sony Santa Monica was doing, brought it to Annapurna, really made an amazing lineup of games here that are different, that are cutting edge and crazy. Yep. Nathan Vela, of course, joined the team not too long ago. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, but came from Capybara. So he came in there. It was this new breath of fresh air, somebody who's super respected, just like Deb, in the indie community for making games. So it was like this, oh man, what a great, cool thing that they're doing over there, blah, 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 blah. For both of them to resign at the same time with this Nathan Gary thing, I don't know Annapurna's interactive structure. It's just an interesting, okay. Now, is it crazy? Of course not. They call out this thing that Hector Sanchez recently joined, president of Interactive and New Media. You figure Hector, who I also don't know, comes in. Well, I guess I've said hello to him, but I don't know him. He comes in and he's like, I'm in charge now. Yeah. We're going to do this thing. We're still supporting the indies, but we're going to look into expanding AAA, large budget games. Maybe that's when Deb and Nathan go, cool, that's not the look we want to do. We still want to just do indie stuff, so we're going to step off. I assume make their own thing, maybe end up somewhere else, maybe end up at one of the publishers. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's foggy right now as to what happened here and why this is happening the way it's happening.
Something to call out is last year at the Annapurna Showcase, they announced the Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth game, which is what they closed out their showcase with. And I got the vibe of this isn't an indie title. This looks like something that's going to be AAA and would have been something that was in the care of what was it, Deborah and Nathan.
Yeah, and they have a team, obviously.
Yeah, and so like again, I hope that this passing of a thing isn't necessarily, oh man, things are changing, we're out. I hope maybe it's we want to continue doing this thing somewhere else, and then let's bring in Hector to maintain like what that is or find what the vision is going to be for Annapurna Interactive, because again, I want this vision that they've had for years and years and years to maintain. Because again,
I worry then about as you look through you're looking through the influence on there. Fuck yeah, what a game!
Like Gone Home, which they didn't originally publish it, but like Gone Home, they've published, I believe, ports. Donut County, Florence, Outer Wilds, Journey, Telling Lies, Sayonara Wild Hearts, like an insane lineup of games here.
But it's that usual thing where we talk about indie development of and of course being at a company as big as Annapurna, which we think of video games, but I think most of the world thinks of movies, right? Yeah. I'm sure they're looking to tighten their belts and make as much money as possible. And these indies, even the most successful indie from that lineup, right, isn't making $1 billion, I would assume, for them, or however it shakes off, right? And so this is interesting. Obviously, this news breaking last week as we were going Friday at the end of the day, but it's also additive to a story from August. If you remember, while I was at PAX, Remedy and Annapurna announced a strategic cooperation agreement on Control 2 and bringing Control and Alan Wake to film and television, right? Mm-hmm. I wonder, I can read more of it if you missed it, of course. Remedy is thrilled to announce that we're working together with Annapurna, who are co-financing the development of Control 2 and taking the Control and Alan Wake franchises to film, TV, and beyond. What does that mean for you, dear fans? Above all, it means Remedy is able to make Control 2 exactly the game we want it to be, while we also have an incredible partner to extend our IPs to other mediums, right? It goes on. Mm-hmm. This could be, again, this to me is good news as somebody who loves Control and loves Remedy games, right? And loves Annapurna so far. Maybe this is an example of what they want to do going forward. And again, I'm hypothesizing because I'm not these people. Maybe that's something Deb and Nathan look at and go, cool, we're not looking to sign games that are then like, we're not going to try to make Donut County into a film, TV, and more, right? Like, if this is the new Hector / Annapurna outlook on games of like, yeah, no, we want to support indie developers like Remedy who are making something and that are talented but are making bigger games. We want to do fewer indies, partner with bigger indies to make things that could be transmedia properties.
Yeah. I'm so fascinated by that, right? I think because as I look through, you mentioned people might know Annapurna more from movies and stuff, which I think probably general public probably true, but I think even in recent years, when I think of that space of movies, I think A24.
Oh, 100%.
And Annapurna, is when I look at their most recent output as far as films, right? Like nothing jumps out at me is like, oh, this was the big slam dunk here, right? Like I liked Nimona came out last year. I fucking love Nimona. But like Nimona wasn't like the biggest movie of the year. I think a Control 2 movie or like a Control movie, I should say. A Control 2 before.
You gotta go play the game.
Yeah, but a Control movie, I think that puts them back on the map on like the film side of things in a big way. And I could see that being the all right. We want to get bigger and better. Like we still want to do weird shit, which is why we're doing a Control. But Control also has the IP power and I think brand name that is going to bring in eyes and ears and like get people caring about what Annapurna is putting out on the movie side, and then have that synergy build on the game side at the same time, which could be very big for them.
We will wait and see and keep our eyes peeled to see what happens with Annapurna and so much more. Speaking of more, number 4, Bungie announces new Destiny 2 release model with 2 medium expansions a year. This is Andy Robinson at VGC, and we have the roadmap visual. Bungie has marked Destiny's 10th anniversary by announcing 10 years. Jeez Louise. 10th anniversary by announcing that going forward, Destiny 2 will adopt a new release model. Instead of 1 annual expansion, the developer will aim to release 2 medium-sized expansions and 4 major free content updates every year. Remember, of course, you could have gotten the Ghostbusters DLC. Don't forget. Never forget. Each of these will depart from the one-shot campaign structure Bungie has been using since Shadowkeep, and each will be an opportunity to explore exciting new formats instead. According to the developer, this change aims, quote, to enhance the player experience through a new multi-year saga, introducing a non-linear story, more systemic innovation, and significant improvements to core game activities and rewards. The new model will start in summer 2025 with the release of Codename Apollo, a non-linear character-driven adventure, and the first new expansion model. Previously, stories like this is a quote, Final Shape, you experience the story as A to B to C to D in a nice straight line. In Codename Apollo, our story takes place over dozens of threads you'll explore and discover, end quote, explains narrative director Allison Lurs in a new blog post. According to Lurs, Destiny 2's upcoming episode will act as an epilogue, quote, tying up light and dark's hanging threads, but also setting us up for what's next, end quote.
Cool. I don't know anything about Destiny at this point, but I do think it is interesting coming off of the recent reports we've gotten about like Destiny seeming to be in a place where they're done as far as big updates. Mm-hmm. This feels like it is not a confirmation of that because they make it sound like, oh no, we're just we're redoing the way that we're doing story. Does redoing it or not redoing, but like the way the phrase it, right?
2 medium-sized expansions.
Is that them trying to figure out a structure that requires less work than a big old expansion? Which like if they want to do that, that's cool, that's okay or whatever. But this coming off of the recent reporting makes me think, oh, they're just trying to figure out a better pipeline so they can make easier to make content.
Yeah. I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it reads like to me again. Like, I think if you were to ask a lot of people in the general gaming population, right? It would be like the last Destiny expansion kind of felt like the last hurrah, right?
Yeah.
When they dropped this whole thing. And they've been quick to be like, no, there's others. We're still, but it's like, it's like that Marathon, the news coming out of it. Like I think Destiny is what Destiny is. And this is just a way to keep the people who want to keep coming back to it still excited.
Yeah. As long as that content's good, I just hope it's good.
Number 5, let's talk about a game that's got Roger very excited. Sega's mobile game, Yakuza Wars, appears to have been revealed early. This is Chris Scullion at VGC. When this news broke today, Roger went, oh.
Yeah, he sounded like he was in pain.
The Yakuza game's a mobile game. Oh,
no.
man.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sad. What do you think, Mr. Cheddar?
It's funny because I don't know if you've seen Smiling Friends, but
No.
immediately I'm thinking of the Smiling Friends characters.
I still got to do that. Here he is, looking at being all
Roger,
sad.
make the noise he made when you learned this news.
Oh man.
That's what he said. He
Oh
said,
man.
a mobile game based on the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series appears to have been revealed early. A Facebook page for a game called Yakuza Wars has been spotted, as reported by ex-user Noble. The page, which appears to be aimed at Chinese players, includes a brief description of a game along with new artwork. Quote, Sega's first officially licensed Like a Dragon mobile game is a brand new, classic gangster-themed masterpiece for mobile phones, creating an innovative strategic war gameplay, it reads. Here, you can fight side by side with classic characters such as Kiryu, Kazuma, Kasuga, Ichiban, and Majima Goro, and write your own legendary story in the Yakuza underworld, end quote. Mobile ads and a trailer for the game have also been spotted, but these currently don't show any actual gameplay and instead focus on character art. Sega filed the trademark for Yakuza Wars last month, but at the time, it wasn't known whether it was going to be a new major entry in the Like a Dragon series or a spin-off.
Oh man.
It could be good. Why? And this doesn't mean it's the only Yakuza announcement. There's like a new Yakuza game every year. Just calm down. You got a show too?
Oh man.
Oh, man.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean? Just be happy. Start playing Monster
What
Hunter
did you
now.
what was your prediction on what this was gonna be?
He thought it was going to be a
He's walking
PlayStation 5 Pro exclusive.
I thought it was going to be like an RTS or something. I thought they were going to get really weird with it. I also wanted a business management sim or whatever where you
Sure.
like manage all the different Yakuza across Japan and you kind of have to have them fight each other. I wonder if this is because they mentioned RGG said that they were going to announce something at the Tokyo Game Show, and they said it was like nothing that you can ever predict. So I wonder if this is it or there's something else. I know that there's going to be, I believe, a direct. I think they do one yearly for just Yakuza in general and the franchise. So I wonder if this is just a small part of it. But yeah, if this is like the one big announcement, I'm gonna be really sad.
See, I was
Oh, man.
I was sure it was gonna be a Muso game, like a Dynasty Warriors type thing, but in the Yakuza universe.
Sure. Yep, you were both wrong. But it was big news for sure.
Huge.
But I'm sick of this huge big news. Blessing, if I wanted something smaller, say what came in the tiniest news items I needed to know about. Where would I go?
You would go to our last news story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 6, the Wii News. According to Jason Schreier, GTA 6 has not been delayed. Jason says on Twitter, the internet and my DMs blew up this weekend over a rumor that GTA 6 is delayed. Good news! Good news is that Rockstar... Oh, let's try this again. Good news is that 6 Rockstar employees all told me they have not heard of any delay. Bad news! It's a big, ambitious game that could very well slip. Too much time left to say anything definitive, end quote.
Fair enough.
Good enough.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 Pro is excited about that one.
Yeah.
From IGN, Street Fighter 6 now has sold 4 million, matching Mortal Kombat 1.
Take that, Mortal Kombat.
Oxenfree is getting removed from itch.io on October 1st and can't be downloaded after.
I still love you, Mortal Kombat. That was mean, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
They
boomed
lost
stuff,
me,
man.
man. You know, I was such a Mortal Kombat sicko, and then Street Fighter and Tekken came through and then ate its lunch.
When you get the new Mortal Kombat, you'll go back to being a sicko, I'm sure.
No, but like I got the new Mortal Kombat, you know, and it just didn't do it for me that much. Like I liked it for like a week, and then I kept playing it. And I was like, I don't know, man. Something about it just doesn't feel right.
Not competitive enough for you.
Not competitive enough. Then
much
Tekken 8
story.
came out.
Yeah.
And I got my ass beat, and I'm like, this is what I like.
Konami adds 3 games to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. You can get Duel Monsters, Duel Monsters 2, Dark Duel Stories.
Let's fucking go.
Dark Duel Stories.
Don't make fun of Dark Duel Stories.
I'm not making fun of anybody.
All right, because I played so much Dark Duel Stories as a kid on my Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that game.
Okay. Fair enough. Are you going to play them again?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Dark Duel Stories, yeah, I'll pick up again. I gotta figure out what this is though, because this doesn't look like it's just like the Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy stuff, or unless it is, chat. Let me know. Kindoffunny.com says you're wrong. I gotta figure out what this. I guess it's just the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection.
Yeah, it sounds like a collection they're putting out.
All right.
Or is out or is going on.
I want it.
Okay. He wants it. Everybody get that. Noble on Twitter says Mo Yang has announced some changes to Minecraft. A native PS5 version is coming. They will retire the mob vote and change the format of Minecraft Live. Smaller content drops throughout the year, and you can read more at minecraft.net. And then, if you're a Dreamcast sicko, there's new merch up for pre-order at Limited Run Games. Kevin, if you want to click on this link so we can have a look at it. You got trading cards. You got outfits. Oh, they got a skate deck? That's cool. Can you scroll down to this? This is all right. There you go. Perfect. Look at that. You got the Dreamcast keychain. They got a Dreamcast coin. Man, they will fucking print anything at Limited Run Games. Jared Petty. Why are we making coins?
I'm on Amazon.com/Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection. I was not expecting $50 for this Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection of old Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. We got to do something about these video game prices. I understand what everybody's talking about now. This is insane.
We just talked about inflation.
You just pay $50 for Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories? Fuck off. I know I just talked it up. I know I said not to talk shit about Dark Duel Stories.
But now you're like, it's
I'm
not
talking
worth
shit. What are we fucking doing? I don't think that was $50 when it came out. I don't know what these other two games are. Maybe they're good. I don't know. Give me Duels of the Roses.
We asked people watching live on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames to super chat a way to be part of this show. I want to get through some of these because there was plenty in here that weren't even about anything we were talking about, but I like to talk to them in. Shrek Squirt says, bless, you got to try Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers on Steam. It's a blackjack roguelike, very similar to Bellatra, right up your alley.
I saw that. Roger actually alerted me to it. It looks really interesting. The problem is that I still be playing Bellatra.
See, my thing is I don't know poker and have no interest in learning anything about it. I know I just need to know the hands, but still it's too much for me.
Fair.
I know blackjack, not well, but enough that I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting for me.
You should check it out and then report back to me.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to highlight it here. And then I'm going to go this, and I'm going to go down to my Steam. I'm opening my Steam.
Yeah.
Because I got it right here on my Mac. You
$50.
can't play any games here, but you can, open up Steam and add things to your wish list. Have a great time. I go up here. I go here, search, because I'm a Steam guy now.
You have a Mac. I'm just now like processing this. Why do you have a Mac? You're a gamer. Oh, because you hate fucking PC gaming.
Can you play games on that thing?
Yeah. Roger brought his to Japan to play games on.
Yeah, but he's playing like Mr. Chedda's.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly. He was playing Mr. Chedda's.
Not playing real games.
Mr. Chedda's Cheddar Machine.
All right, I've added it to my wish list. I'll check this out. I'll look into this, everybody. Thank you very much, Shrek Squirt, for a disgusting game and telling us something. Dear Sixlet super chats and says, just binged every podcast for the last 2 months after lapsing, and I'm back to watching live. Good to be back. Excited for Mike's Kingdom Hearts 2 marathon stream on Friday. Let's go.
That's an insane amount of podcasts to binge.
That's a lot. We make a lot of content here.
Does he make like 2 to 3 podcasts a day here?
Oh, yeah, 3 to 4, I would say.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Kuma Babam says, Greggy, can you give us a quick recap of Kingdom Hearts 1, please and thank you? Yeah, so Mickey Mouse
already
falls into a world and Sora's there and they got a big key because I think they got caught. They're stuck in a clock and Goofy shows up for some reason and then they just keep shoving licensed IP down your throat and you keep eating it up.
So you think Mickey Mouse is the one that falls into Sora's world?
Yeah, he has to go work and get a job.
You just have to reverse Kingdom Hearts.
That sounds way more
it's
interesting.
Like Mickey Mouse shows up, he's like, who are all these anime people? Fucking got Goku over there. Fucking Chrono is over there.
Fabian Super Chat says, kind of funny is awesome. Shout out from Lapland, Finland, watching with my little man, Patrick. Hello, Patrick. Thanks for watching with your dad. Then we had a whole bunch of stuff about the Pro, but we kind of covered it. We did and this is the final one we'll end on. Comes from Matt. Hearing Annapurna doing AAA sounds like A24 announcing a multi-million-dollar movie. Hopefully, the quality doesn't drop. Again, this in a vacuum sounds like good, but Control 2.
Yeah.
Control 2 is a AAA game, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. Ladies, gentlemen, what?
I'm just thinking of like, is Oliver Nelson coming out and being like, I'm making a Call of Duty. You're like, what's going on here?
That would be a Call of Duty I'd actually be excited for.
I would play that campaign.
Fucking rad. I am your beast. Out soon. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that's another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily in the bank. However, we are far from done making content for you today. It's time for the GAMESCAST, where Lisa Wallen's going to tell us about her video game tattoos. We'll talk about our video game tattoo ideas and so much more. Then, of course, it'll be the stream. A completely original idea where Lisa and Andy have to play Dark Souls on Switch while the Joy-Cons split in half.
Soulmates.
Fuck Brian and Max. That'll be a fun stream. If you need to catch any of it later, you can. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames. Of course, podcast services for the GAMESCAST. This afternoon is a Kinda Funny podcast if you're a Kinda Funny member. And hey, why not be a Kinda Funny member? For $10, you get all of our shows ad-free. You get good karma for supporting a business you apparently love enough to watch to the end of this show. And you get Gregway. You get all sorts of stuff. It's fun. It's great. There's good. You can go get the Mike DVD this month. Don't you want a DVD Mike made for Hideo Kojima? You could be like Hideo Kojima.
I'm not saying anything. God damn it, I said something.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.